So let's look at our finding errors. Yeah, we know the pattern, sentence divided into parts. We need to figure out which part has the error. So though our training facilities are limited, only a few employees have been selected for training. Some of you are saying part A, some of you are saying part B, some of you are saying there is no error. Okay, so even this was easy, only jumbled and closed passage, you had a problem. Okay, fine. We'll look at that. So it's saying training facilities are limited, only a few employees have been selected for training. So it's more like this was the cause and this was the consequence, right? Because the training facilities are limited, we are only selecting these many employees to fit that space, right? So we understand this is a sentence which is giving me a cause and effect meaning. If I'm giving a cause and effect meaning, why do I have this contradictory hint word in my first part, though? Right? I don't need there is no contradiction happening here. Correct? So having said that, what do I change this to? Somebody had already mentioned it. I don't need the contrast hint word. I covered this, is it? Okay. I don't remember. Yeah, so yes, Kuhu and I think somebody else also said. All you need to do is change this to the right cause and effect linking word. As our training facilities are limited, only a few employees have been selected for training. So obviously the error is in part A. I don't know why some of you came back and said part B. What did you find incorrect in part B? Training facilities, they're talking about more than one facility. Are as a plural verb is correct. Limited is an adjective describing what it is. Are limited. And then there's remember, usually we'll have to ignore errors of punctuation. So maybe you didn't understand the meaning the context was giving because the punctuation is missing. So as our training facilities are limited, comma, only a few employees have been selected for training. Yeah. During the interview, the panel asked me several technical questions and I answered all of it. Usually, I would use as, which is a more appropriate conjunction in this context, simply because I always relate to since, from a time point of view, since and for. But it's still fine. I wouldn't say it's incorrect because people use it, right, conversationally. It is used. But as a conjunction gives me a more meaning of a reason. So during the interview, the panel asked me several technical questions and I answered all of it. Yes, most of you have come back and given me the response, which is correct, right? The clue for you is several technical questions. More than one question. So Chandra, what do you see wrong with part B? During the interview, the panel asked me several technical questions and I answered. So you just need to make sure the pronoun is rightly substituting the noun, right? The noun here is several technical questions. So you change that to them. Option D is where the error is. It's an easy one again. Let's look at the next one. The foremost criterion of selection we adopted were the number of years of training a singer had received under a particular guru. One particular criterion, and that's what is mentioned here. The number, right? That's the subject. So the foremost criterion of selection we adopted, so since it's a singular subject we're referring to, you need to make sure that the verb also is singular. So all you need to do is check this and change that. So error is in part B, change where to? Yeah. The therapeutic benefits at helping others have long been recognized by people. The therapeutic benefits at helping others have long been recognized by people. Where do you think the error is, or do you think there is an error at all? So, Namrata, quickly, what's the clue word? Revati, Anubha. So, what's the clue word? No, what's the clue word? Everybody is giving me the answer, but what's the clue word in the context? The clue word is benefits actually, right? So, usually the collocation is, the benefit of something is, right? The benefit of this is, the benefit of that is. So, the clue word is benefits and the appropriate preposition that gets associated or connected to that is of. Are you following? Helping others is just it's stating one of the factors. But the clue word is benefits. The therapeutic benefits of helping others. So that's your clue word. But either ways, you got it right. The error is in B. You change at to of. Last one. With the United Kingdom declining India's request to deport Vijay Mallya, the Enforcement Directorate has requested Interpol to issue a red corner notice against him in connection with his money laundering probe. So, where do you think the error is, or do you think there is any error at all? Pretty long sentence. Yashwant says no error. Yes, most of you have come back and said no error, no error, no error. Sajid says B, part B. Vikas says part D. So let's look at it, right? Some of you are saying even part A. So this seems like everybody has a problem with every part. So let's look at it part by part. With the United Kingdom declining India's request, what's wrong with that part? What's happening? United Kingdom is declining India's request. Declining India's request for what? To deport Vijay Mallya. What's happening? The Enforcement Directorate. So part A seems fine to me. To deport Vijay Mallya, the Enforcement Directorate has requested Interpol. So this is what is happening, right? The United Kingdom has declined India's request to deport Vijay Mallya. Fine. The Enforcement Directorate, what is it doing? It has requested Interpol. Part B also seems fine. To do what? To issue a red corner notice against him seems fine. C. In connection with his money laundering probe. Now, if you look at part D, who's doing the probe? Is it Vijay Mallya or the Enforcement Directorate? Right? Rajkumar. Correct. Who's doing the probe? The Enforcement Directorate is doing the probe, right? They have requested Interpol to issue a red corner notice against him in connection with, not his, its. Right? Money laundering probe. They are probing into this person, Vijay Mallya. Who's doing that? The Enforcement Directorate. So not his money laundering probe, its money laundering probe. Yeah, this is something that you will miss out on if you are not following every part carefully. Right? It seems right. When you read it, it seems okay. Yeah, but you can miss out on this. Who's doing the probe? The Enforcement Directorate is doing the probe and not Vijay Mallya. Correct? So you just change the pronoun. So a couple of things you need to focus on. Yeah, just imagine that it's not a difficult thing at all. You already know this. The right pronoun to substitute the right noun. We know this. Now, Rajesh, why I can't use while in part A is because while talks about two actions happening simultaneously. And if I use while, I have to change the construction of the sentence completely. So if I use while, I'll say, while the United Kingdom declined India's request to deport Vijay Mallya, the Enforcement Directorate requested. I have to also make changes to the tense. I can't have has requested, which is a present perfect tense, because in the first part, I'm saying declined. While this happened, right? Simultaneous actions happening. That's when I can use while. While the United Kingdom declined India's request to deport Vijay Mallya, the Enforcement Directorate requested Interpol to issue a red corner notice against him in connection with its money laundering probe. Now that makes sense for me. So always remember, while as a conjunction talks about two actions happening simultaneously. Right? So again, as will give me the reason. The reason is not given here, right? It's just talking about two actions that need to take place. United Kingdom declined India's request to deport Vijay Mallya. Enforcement Directorate is requesting. So it's not giving me a cause and effect meaning here. Saurabh, right? There is no cause and effect meaning here. There is no something happening and as a consequence something is happening. It's just talking, the sentence is talking about two actions that have to happen or that has happened. Yeah, Vipul, very easy. You need to figure out who's doing the probe. The money laundering probe is done by the Enforcement Directorate and not by Vijay Mallya. That is why it is not his money laundering probe. So the Enforcement Directorate has requested Interpol to issue a red corner notice against him, Vijay Mallya, in connection with its money laundering probe. The probe, what is a probe? They're looking into his details, his accounts. Where has the money gone?